But first, it's Jane Couch, the First Lady of Boxing. She beat the British Boxing Board of Control to get her licence to fight. She then started promoting and managing fighters. She had a problem last year. She had a row with someone, probably, with regard to her manager's licence. It's just been sorted. I spoke to Jane earlier, and I started by asking the First Lady of Boxing what exactly had just happened with her licence.
I'll tell you what happened, Steve. In November, I was called to Cardiff on a charge of misconduct because I rang Charlie Giles, the chairman of the Boxing Board of Control, and said to him, you know, if you're going to change the rules of association, then you're going to have to resign because you get paid. And it's fine that you're going to change the rules, but you've got to stick by them. And they didn't take kindly to me calling the chairman and saying that. So they called me into Cardiff and banned me for life, said I won't fit to hold the licence, and then...
Is that right? So what was your call over? Was it a rant or was it just you being forceful? What was it over?
No, I just rang him and said, if you're bringing rules in, it's fine to bring them rules in. It's like if you work for a radio station and they say, right, Steve, you can't say this word or you get sacked, then that's fine.
Long as you know beforehand. Yeah, long as you know.
As long as you know. So I said, well, if you're saying that people financially involved in boxing can't sit on an area council, then you have to resign as chairman and your other stewards because you've all been paid. And so then when we got to Cardiff, they told a totally different story what that conversation was about. They, you know, I can't say too much because
you don't you get in trouble.
Things, but they got other people to say they heard the conversation.
Ooh.
These are top people in the game as well. You'd be actually quite surprised if I was allowed to say.
And disappointed, I would imagine.
Very, very disappointed.
So the long shot of it is, though, you've got your licence back.
Yeah, I got Jonathan Crystal, QC, and Michael Anderson.
You had Jonathan Crystal as well.
Yeah, I had Jonathan as well. He's getting good at this.
He'll have to get a flat in Cardiff. He was down there with Derek Chisora last week. Jane Couch this week.
Well, and it was Michael Anderson from Lewis Silkin that took my case because they could see...
Jane, who's paid for all that, if you don't mind me saying so?
Well, they did it free of charge. They said, I'm such a nice person, Steve. They said, I'll couch you, we'll help you out.
But that's thousands and thousands of pounds worth of legal representation.
Yeah, it was, and that's the good thing about it is because the deal that we did with the board, it wasn't about money. I said, look,
principle.
Give me the licence back, and we'll forget all the costs. But you know, that's how.
I tell you what, Jane, you've had a few years of fighting the bald girl, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm sick of it now.
Oh, so would I be.
This is the problem, Steve. It's 2-0. Jane Couch 2, Boxing Board of Control 0. How many more times do they want to keep taking me on?
Why is it they take you on? Because when they took you on, when they tried to not give you a licence all those years ago, I remember doing bits of 5 Live and saying, this is stupid. It's just going to cost the board hundreds of thousands of pounds at a time when Michael Watson needed the money. And guess what? It cost them hundreds of thousands of pounds and they lost. It was a no-brainer then, and this sounds the same way. OK, let's move on from that. Congratulations for getting your licence done. Jane, what are you up to day to day? I keep seeing you popping up. What is the filming, and how can people watch some of your filming, especially the X-rated stuff?
There's plenty of naked stuff on there, Steve, as well.
Yeah, they're boxers. They're boxers coming out of the showers.
Max Maxwell, and he was naked when he did the interview, so that was good. Just go to JaneCouchBoxing.com. I'm just on my way to a weigh-in in Swindon now. Keith Mayall's got a small show there tomorrow. One of my lads is boxing for the Southern Area title, and then I'll catch up from Dave Caldwell's shows, like doing a lot of the small shows as well now. Get some publicity for the boxers that don't always get it.
In a normal month, Jane, how many shows do you go to and how many gyms do you think you go to? And you've got a mileage for how many miles you do. Just give us a sort of an average. What do you reckon?
I reckon last month I must have done about 100,000 miles. I did loads. I went to so many gyms, spoke to so many people, but I enjoy it, Steve. You know, the site's just hit the 1 million mark, so it won't be long for a sponsor comes on board.
Good.
And pays for me to go and do all these things, because it's all self-funded at the minute.
Yeah, I know it is. And the reason why I can't get you on Box Nation is that I can't pay you any money either, and I wouldn't want both. But I've got a brilliant idea for you, which I will talk to you about when we're in private somewhere. Jane Couch, what a pleasure. By the way, Jane Couch MBE, I always forget that.
Oh, we don't. I always forget that, Steve. You need one of them,
you've got business cards made up of MBE on, don't worry. First Lady and MBE. Jane, listen, it's always a pleasure. I'll speak to you soon.
You're doing a great job, Steve. Love you, mate.
Oh, Jane Couch. She does a good job, you know. She grafts like mad. And if you go online, if you just Google Jane Couch, she interviews everybody. And some of it's a little bit, she pushes it. It's a bit white knuckle. But you know what? Most of the time, it's straight interviews. And she does thousands of them, hundreds of them. She really does. The